Have you ever asked yourself the question, like, what is my purpose? Or do I even have one? And if I do, who gets to decide what it is? It's a good question. There's kind of a strange scripture, at least I think it's strange, in Romans chapter 9, verse 17, where it says, Scripture says to Pharaoh, I, speaking of God, raised you up for this very purpose, that I might display my power in you, and that my name might be proclaimed in all the earth. Does not the potter have the right to make out to the same lump of clay some pottery for special purposes and some for common use? So, did God make Pharaoh evil? It's a good question. What do you do with this? Well, there are two extreme views. The first is called fatalism. Fatalism says, you know what? God's going to do whatever he wants to do, and we're just kind of pawns in his chess game. Really, our choices don't matter. The problem with that is that the Bible expresses that you do have legitimate choices, and those choices do matter because they have consequences. The other extreme is called self-determination. It's like, I get to do what I want, and I get to choose my path. Well, the problem with that theory is that there are a lot of things that are outside of your control that you can't predetermine. So what does it mean? Well, here's what it means, I think. I think it means that we legitimately have choices. And those choices have consequences for good and for evil. Some of you are experiencing terrible consequences because of poor choices. On the other hand, some of you are experiencing great things because of good choices. But here's where God steps in. God is able to take whatever choice we make, whatever consequence we find ourselves in, and use it for something better. Use it for his good. So I guess the only question left is, which side of the equation do you want to be on? God's purpose or a destructive purpose? And God is willing to restore all things if you ask him. So maybe you should just ask yourself right now, what is God asking me to do? And am I willing to do it no matter what the outcome? Like, that's the question. Do you have purpose? Absolutely. I believe you were created in the image of God. I believe you were created to make this world a better place. I believe that love is the only thing that will do that, and so lean heavy into that. And so yes, your choices do matter. Just make great choices so that God can use you for great purposes. And that is a stepping stone of being who God has called you to be.